I found a diary last October, and in 30 seconds, 50 years of my life stopped making sense. I'm going to tell you exactly what was in it, but first I need you to understand what I thought I had, because that's the only way you'll feel what I felt when I read those pages. Stay with me, because what I discovered in the last entry of that diary, I still don't know how to feel about it. My name is Robert. I'm 76 years old. I met Margaret in 1971. She was wearing a yellow dress at a friend's barbecue, and I remember thinking she looks like summertime. I know how that sounds. I don't care. I walked over and said something stupid. She laughed anyway. We dated 2 years. I proposed on a park bench in the rain because I'd planned the whole thing for a sunny day and couldn't wait anymore. She said yes before I finished the sentence. We had 2 kids, Daniel and Claire. A house in the suburbs. Dinner at the kitchen table every night. The same lake house every summer because we both agreed why look for better when you've already found perfect. I thought we were happy. No, that's not right. I knew we were happy. I would have bet my life on it. I did bet my life on it. 50 years of it. She passed in October, a Tuesday. Pancreatic cancer. Fast. The house went silent in a way I didn't know a house could go silent. 6 weeks later, I was cleaning out her side of the closet, the top shelf, behind a box of old Christmas cards. A small brown notebook, plain cover, no name on it. I almost didn't open it. I wish I hadn't opened it. I wish I'd opened it sooner. I still don't know which one I mean. The first entry was dated 1987. Daniel was 8. Claire was 5. She wrote that she had realized something that year. Something she'd been running from. She wrote that she cared for me. That I was a good man, her exact words. But that she didn't love me. Not the way she believed a wife should love a husband. She had tried to leave. She thought about it for months. And one afternoon, while I was at work, she packed a bag. Then Daniel came home from school. He'd had a bad day. Some kid on the playground. He sat at the kitchen table, and she made him a snack, and he told her the whole story. And then he looked up and said, "Mom, can I tell you something?" She said yes. "I'm really glad you're always here." She unpacked the bag that night. "I need you to stop for a second and understand what I just told you." She packed a bag. She was ready to go, and she stayed. Not because of a feeling, not because something changed between us. She stayed because of an 8-year-old boy who had a bad day on the playground. That was 1987. She lived until 2024, 37 more years. After that first entry, she wrote something I've read 50 times now. She wrote, "If I am going to stay, I am going to do it right. I will be present. I will be kind. I will make this a good home." And then one sentence that has been living in my chest like a stone ever since. "I hope he never knows. I hope he dies, thinking he was loved the way he deserved." I sat on the floor of that closet for I don't know how long. The light changed. It got dark outside. I didn't move. Here's what broke me. Not the fact that she didn't love me. What broke me was that she had done it perfectly. If she had been cold distant, if I had felt something was wrong at some point, that would have been painful. But at least I could have said, yes, I sensed it. Looking back, I knew, but I didn't know. She made my coffee every morning. 2 sugars, a splash of milk. She laughed at my jokes, and I have never been a funny man, so that says something. She held my hand at Daniel's wedding and wept at Claire's graduation and slow danced with me in the kitchen every New Year's Eve. She told me she loved me thousands of times, maybe more. Every single time she looked me in the eye. I started going back through 50 years of memories, like a man searching a wall for cracks. The vacation, where she seemed distracted. The anniversary dinner that felt a little thin. The nights she rolled away from me. I found cracks. Every marriage has cracks, but they didn't add up to what I read. They didn't point to a woman quietly carrying this for 30 years. They just pointed to a marriage. A normal, human, imperfect marriage, which is exactly what I thought we had. 2 weeks after I found the diary, I called Daniel. I didn't tell him what was in it. I don't think I ever will. He's 45. He has his own family. What would I be giving him? But I asked him something. I said, "Do you think your mother was happy?" He didn't pause for even a second. "Dad, Mom was the happiest person I've ever known." I said, "Yeah, me too." And I meant it. That's the thing. I genuinely meant it. I want to tell you about a second entry now, because the first one almost destroyed me. But the second one, I don't have the right word for what it did. It was near the back of the diary, dated 2019, a 20-year gap. She would have been 70. I don't know why she started writing again. Maybe she felt time getting short. Maybe she just needed to say it somewhere. She wrote about a Sunday morning, raining outside. She said I'd fallen asleep in the armchair in the living room with a book on my chest, the way I always do. She said she stood in the doorway and watched me sleep for a while. And then she wrote this: "I have been thinking for years about whether I made the right choice, and I keep coming back to the same answer. The choice was never really about him. It was about who I wanted to be. I wanted to be someone who showed up, someone my children could count on, a person who kept her word, even when it cost her something. I don't know if that's love, but it might be something close. It might be something that matters just as much." I had to put the notebook down. I walked to the kitchen. I stood at the sink. I looked out the window at nothing. And I thought, this woman was more than I ever understood. The last line of that entry is the one that stays with me. She wrote, "He has been a good husband. He deserved better than I could give. But I gave him everything I had. He gave him everything I had." I've turned that sentence over every day since October, because here's what I keep landing on, and I'm still falling. So take this for what it is. I've been asking the wrong question. The question I keep asking is, was it real? But I think the better question is, what does real mean? She didn't stay because a feeling carried her. She stayed because she decided to. Every morning for 37 years, she woke up and she chose to walk into the kitchen and make the coffee and be present and be kind and be there. That doesn't come from love. That comes from will. And I'm not sure anymore which one is harder to give. People talk about love like it's a feeling you either have or you don't, like it's something that happens to you. But what Margaret did, what she chose, alone on that ordinary afternoon in 1987 when she unpacked a bag that wasn't a feeling, that was a decision she renewed every single day for the rest of her life. And she never once let me see the weight of it. Is that love? I don't know. But I know this. It cost her something real. And she paid it anyway. For Daniel, for Claire, for the kitchen table and the lake house and the slow dances on New Year's Eve. Maybe even, in whatever way she could manage for me. Her coffee mug is still in the cabinet. I can't move it. Every morning I make my coffee one sugar now. I switched years ago but never told her, and I sit at the kitchen table and I look at her chair. I think about the yellow dress. I think about the park bench in the rain. I think about the way she looked at me when she said yes before I finished asking. And I wonder, when she looked at me like that, what was she seeing? Was she seeing a man she loved? Or was she seeing the man she had already decided to stay for? The diary doesn't say. And I've made a choice, too. I'm going to let that be enough. I told you at the beginning that what I found in the last entry would change how I felt about everything. I was wrong about one thing. It didn't change how I feel about Margaret. I still think she was the best thing that ever happened to me. I still think about the yellow dress. I think I always will. Maybe that's what 50 years does to a person. Maybe that's what real looks like, not the feeling you start with, but the one you can't shake even after everything. Even after the diary. Even after the truth. Even now.